Hello there, you're now with me, Handy Gui, and welcome to your 5 p.m. English News on TVS. Now let's dive into the topics for today. Various benefits will be enjoyed by licensees at the local community through the establishment of the Forest Management Unit or FMU. Hence, a greater contribution will be channeled by timber concession owners through their corporate social responsibilities or CSR that involve provisions of basic facilities, such as upgrading and maintaining roads for the local community, under the implementation of the Forest Certification Management Policy. Deputy Minister for Natural Resources and Urban Development Dr. Len Talif Saleh said the current logging roads constructed by license holders are deemed unsafe for public use as it does not meet the requirement of the safety standard. Additionally, the FMU also allows licensees to market timber and wood-based products produced in their respective areas without any restrictions to the international market. The FMU also proves that the licensees have met various criteria and indicators set according to the Malaysian Timber Certification Scheme (MTCS) standards, which are recognized internationally under the Program for Endorsement for Forest Certification. Datu Len Talif added that the engagement through community participation would be increased through various programs in forest certification, namely Awareness Program for Forest Management Certification, Training for Reduced Impact Logging, and Training on High Conservation Value. Two proposed projects, namely New LAWAS'S Water Treatment Plant WTP and New Truzon WTP, are expected to resolve the water issues in LAWAS. The projects proposed under the 12 Malaysia Plan 12 MP are a long-term solution to accommodate the demand. Water shortage remains an unresolved issue in LAWAS despite the completion of the water treatment plant in Truzon. The water treatment plant, which was commissioned in 2013, aimed to supply treated water to the whole of LAWAS district. However, due to the inability of the plant to meet the demand, residents in LAWAS continue to be plagued by water shortage issues. As such, two projects were implemented under Project Rakyat in the effort to increase the production capacity for treated water supply in LAWAS. The project is expected to be completed by the end of this year. Additionally, rehabilitation works and the recommissioning of 5 million litres per day glucose WTP have also been completed. Now, several forms of aid channeled through the Sarawak Welfare Department JKMS and Women and Family Department of Sarawak JWKS aims to assist single mothers to elevate their economic status. The aid includes the launch grant assistance with a maximum of 5,000 ringgit per person in the form of equipment to start or expand their micro businesses. Additionally, this assistance targets recipients of monthly welfare assistance who are still productive, including single mothers. She was responding to Dato Sri Tiong King Singh GPS Dudong on the amount of assistance allocated to single mothers intending to operate micro businesses. Other than that, to further enhance knowledge and skills, JKWS also provide training for single mothers in the effort to prepare them for their businesses. Meanwhile, on another matter, a total of 200,000 ringgit has been allocated for women's non-governmental organizations (NGOs), including Single Mothers Associations, which aims to empower the association and its member in the socio-economic sector. She further reiterated that the grant is open to all eligible Sarawak women's NGOs. Therefore, she urged single mothers associations to submit working papers to apply for government allocations. Sarawak government has yet to receive any response from its federal counterparts regarding the candidate proposed to be its representative on the Board of Directors of the Inland Revenue Board (IRB). Deputy Minister in the Sarawak's Premier Department for Law, MA63 and State Federal Relations, Dato' Sharifah Hasidah Said Ahmad Ghazali said the candidate was proposed as a follow-up to the state's demand to have a representative on the IRB board. Hasidah was responding to a supplementary question from Dato' Ibrahim Baki GPS Sato during the question and answer session at the Sarawak State Assembly sitting today. She said that the proposed membership on the IRB board was one of the state's demands and is still in the midst of discussion with the federal government. Other claims under negotiation include the issue of judicial administration in Sabah and Sarawak and the proposed recognition of the Sarawak Public Works Department, Sarawak Irrigation and Drainage Department, and Sarawak Rural Water Supply Department as technical departments under Treasury Instructions 182. She noted that other pending matters are on the proposed increase in the number of Dewan Rakyat members from Sabah and Sarawak in Parliament and a discussion on the special grant review formula under Article 112D of the Federal Constitution. Hasidah pointed out that Sarawak's claim that had been resolved were the settlement between the Sarawak government and Petronas through a commercial settlement agreement or CSA, recognition of Sarawak's right to impose sales tax on petroleum products, recognition of Sarawak's right to regulate gas distribution in Sarawak, and amendments to Article 1(2), 160(2), and 161A(6) and (7) of the Federal Constitution, which came into effect on February 11th this year. Hasidah said the Sarawak government had also submitted proposed amendments to the legislative list in the 9th schedule of the Federal Constitution, specifically to remove tourism matters from the federal list to be added to the common list. Thank you for staying with me. Now, the Tourism, Arts and Culture Ministry has recommended that each state in the country come up with new tourism products to further strengthen the sector and attract more tourists, especially from abroad. Minister Dato' Sri Nancy Shukri said the rebranding of each tourism product was also strongly encouraged to further highlight the strength of the tourism sector in each state. When asked whether the depreciating ringgit against the US dollar would have an impact on the country's tourism sector, Nancy said, from a tourism point of view, the issue was quite isolated. She added that so far, in terms of tourist mobility, it has not shown any effect. She said the ministry also provides subsidies in the form of tourism-related vouchers to help reduce the burden and encourage tourists, especially domestic tourists, to travel. Cases of hand, foot and mouth disease continue to rise in Sabah, Terengganu and Perak. However, it is still under control. In Sabah, State Health Department Director Datuk Dr. Rose Nani Mudin said 2,654 HFMD cases were reported until May 16, the highest increase compared to 55 cases during the same period last year. She said the 5 districts reporting the highest cases were Tawau, 435 cases, Sandakan, 387 cases, Lahad Datu, 308, Kota Belud, 244, and Papar, 229 cases. In Terengganu, the number of cases among children continued to rise with 1,182 cases recorded from early this year until last Tuesday. State Health Department Director Dato' Dr. Kasimani Embong said there was a tenfold increase in recorded cases compared to the 103 cases recorded in the same period last year. In Perak, State Health Science, Environment and Green Technology Committee Chairman Mohammed Akmal Kamaruddin said the state government would shut down childcare premises upon receiving a directive from the Health Ministry MOH if infection cases in the state continue to rise. A total of 2,638 HFMD cases were recorded in the state as of last Tuesday, May 17. Prior to this, Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said HFMD was spreading at an alarming rate in the country. He said that the spread was 15 times greater compared to during the same period last year, with 31,661 cases reported. Now on to some global affairs. The remains of dozens of people assassinated during the 1985 Cajamarca massacre in Peru were delivered to their families on May 19th in a ceremony held by the Public Ministry of the city of Ayacucho. The massacre occurred in August 1985, when the Peruvian army entered Cajamarca and falsely accused and killed at least 69 villagers, including 23 children, for being members of the Shining Path guerrilla forces. Troops led by Officer Telmo Hurtado then separated men from a group of women and children before ordering them shot and set on fire. Hurtado has admitted to the massacre, but says he was following higher orders. The poor Andean region of Ayacucho in southern Peru was the epicenter of the Shining Path's uprising against the state in the early 1980s. Peru's Truth Commission has estimated some 69,000 died or went missing in the ensuing two-decade conflict, one of Latin America's deadliest. The commission blamed the Shining Path for most killings and state authorities for about a third. And that is all for TVS News at 5. Stay up to date with the top stories via our website at TVSTVMY and follow our social media platforms for the latest news and entertainment. Once again, I'm Handy Gui. Stay safe and have a pleasant day.